I just started a video by picking my nose, didn't I? That's nice. I'm nothing if not real. I had a comment the other day. I did a video on when is it time to walk away, you know, and to not feel bad about having to do so. When to walk away from your club, your MC, your RC. I'm going to say club from this point out, but I'm talking about motorcycle clubs, motorcycle organizations, riding clubs, riding groups, you know, et cetera, et cetera. I, of course, do not speak on the behalf of any club. I don't speak on the behalf of my own organization. This is just from many, many years of experience and stuff. Not bragging, just shit. There's always going to be somebody who complains. Anyway, and he commented on that video saying, I left mine several years ago, and I left on good terms. Have you ever heard of anyone going back? And I was like, well, yeah, happens all the time. People leave for a while because of life's demands or whatever, and they come back, you know, unless you're out bad. And he goes, well, what's out bad mean? I was like, guess that sounds like a good topic for a video. So from time to time, my videos are normally about, you know, working on one of these bikes. You guys know I talk about Sturgis all the time. Probably too much, sorry. And just general peek into our lives kind of thing. But from time to time, I'll do a video about culture, motorcycle culture, biker culture. And like I did one on what is a no-fly zone. And, you know, some sorts of patch etiquette, choose to listen to it or not do it. Get all bent out of shape and upset because you want to order a Sons of Anarchy patch and da-da-da-da-da. Fine. But the no-fly one was because someone said, what's a no-fly zone? I was like, oh, that's a good one to talk about. People are interested in this stuff. This is not specific operational. This is like concepts. And you can be out bad from a club. Just leaving that again for all those things. And what that means is you've done something real bad. That doesn't mean you needed to take a step away and you needed to get your life back in order and you couldn't devote the time and you need to focus on your career, or suddenly you got a new job. New job means you're going to be moving away or traveling constantly for work or this, that, and the other, so you're not going to be able to do the work, put in the time, and so you need to step away. Then things change, they settle down, you go back. That doesn't mean you're out bad. That just means you stepped away, you quit, you turned in your colors, your whatnot, and it's fine. You probably still know the brothers that you rode with, probably still see them, you're all still friends. That's different. Out bad is when you have done something so bad that your organization, club, whatever, they want to put it in writing that you are ineligible for future membership. Now, that is typically a big process. That's not, you know, Bill needed to step away, Bob the president and he were really tight, and so Bob's really mad that Bill had to step away, so Bob's gonna make Bill out bad. No, that doesn't work that way. You might be surprised to find out that motorcycle clubs, especially when they're established, they're large, they've been around a long time, multiple chapters, there's, you know, whatnot. There's a pecking order, a hierarchy, a chain of command, there's a policies and procedures that can sometimes be phone book thick. And that's all because someone has made a mistake before, and so someone had to write a rule. Yes, people said, I can't believe there's rules. Isn't riding all about freedom? Okay, yeah, all right. Go put on your bell bottoms and go out in the woods to take a pill and taste colors, whatever, that's fine. I'm talking about when you have an organization with a cause or a purpose, and maybe that purpose is just organized rides and partying hard and whatnot. Maybe that's fine, I'm not judging. You still need to have some form of control, especially when it's bikers, man. This is not an organization of school teachers. This is an organization of bikers. Bikers need leadership. Bikers need direction if it's a big group of them, or shit's gonna go bad. I mean, like, we aren't the, you know, Sonny the Badger and I were talking the other day. We were talking about the world record poker run, and I told him, I was like, man, that's, you know, you got 100-something bikes, that's badass, but all that distance, like, whoo, I don't envy you, because talking about herding cats, herding bikers is much worse. So God love him. If you don't know what the world record poker run is, go check that out. So anyway, so you need policies and procedures, you need control to keep things in line so they don't just burn down around you and become a freaking mess, right? So What'll typically happen is if someone needs to go out bad, there's going to be higher ups involved. Again, I can't remember what name I name him. That P who was mad at this person who's leaving doesn't have the power to just go, he's out bad, or at least shouldn't be if you've got proper policies and procedures. It should be able to be escalated above that president, if it's a big enough organization, to someone who doesn't have a dog in that fight, who can sit there and go, well, what happened? And you should have like an appeals process. I mean, seriously, this is how serious these things are run. And in a minute, I'll get into what can make you out bad. So those of you who are going, this thing sounds stupid. No, hang on now. If it goes all the way to the top to a state governing body or a national governing, someone who isn't a part of this needs to talk to both sides and see, are these accusations real? Did it happen? Does it harm the purpose, the mission, the focus, the whatnot of this club? Could this person potentially cause serious damage to it? Is this person just a dishonorable shitbag? This is, what it is most of the time. And then that governing body says, all right, yeah, we're going to put this person on the out bad list. And once that is done, it's handed back down. The sergeant at arms locally will inform said shitbag that they are out bad, and then tell them what that means. Not physical. I want to jump off for a second here. I think there's this perception that bikers only know how to communicate with fists. And that might be true when you're 23. I'm a grown-ass man. Bar brawls are a young man's game. I ain't got time for that shit, Grown men, when they have a conflict, you talk things out. And I mean you talk it out. You don't raise your voice, you might be, fire might be coming out of your ears, but this is how this is discussed. And I'm saying this from experience because I've seen sergeant at arms handle situations, and they're always the quietest guy in the room. They always stay like they don't escalate until it's time to escalate. But they're like, no, this is what's going. You're gonna, and they keep things under control, and they keep people from going to fisticuffs. And if they can't, yes, I said fisticuffs. If they can't and they can't keep it straight, that's when they go, I've done all I can. Go beat the shit out of each other in the parking lot. We'll see what happens. But that's always like step Z. There's step A through Y before you get to Z. That's the very last one. But you sit and you figure this shit out. Because in my experience, once you let two brothers go into a parking lot, tie up, and bloody each other, there's no way back from that. Not really. You're supposed to have each other's back. And it's real hard to say, I've got your back, when you just blasted my teeth out last week. So you try and stop that from happening. But I digress, I apologize, but a side note. Not every biker's looking to have a damn bar brawl every week. Because men deal with shit before getting into fights and stuff. Anyway, if you're grown up. I'm sorry, I can't get off the damn topic. But now we'll get into what can make you out bad. If you broke the foundational principles of the organization of which you're a part of. So I'll say this much. I'm trying to figure out a good one. If you're a part of a Leo club, that's a thing. Leo means law enforcement officer. If you're a part of a Leo club, and therefore you're in law enforcement, right? I am not affiliated with any Leo clubs. I don't even know anyone on Leo clubs, but I know they watch the channel. They'll, I'm sure, agree with this. If you are a member of a Leo club because you're a law enforcement officer, and then next week they raid your house and find that you have been trafficking drugs and people, like you're human trafficking and distributing drugs and da-da-da-da-da-da-da, while other clubs might be just fine with that behavior, a Leo club is not. So, Sergeant Scumbag is arrested and convicted of human trafficking, drug trafficking, everything other frickin' money laundering, and a million other things. That does not fit with the foundational principles of a law enforcement, So he will obviously be removed from his job. He will also probably be put out bad from his club. That process will be a shorter one than what I described earlier. There's no appeals and interviews. In that situation, the board of that local chapter, if there is a governing body, would probably just send, the conviction documents. And then they just go, yep, Sergeant Scumbag is out bad. And then the Sergeant at Arms would contact Sergeant Scumbag, even though he's probably in jail, and say, yeah, I already know this, but you're out bad. So a foundational violation, if you have a cause or certain principles, that'll do it. If you do the thing you're supposed to not be doing, out bad. The two most common ones in my experience are financial related. You stole. You know, you're working the annual, you know, at the local bar, and you're selling the wristbands and beer tickets or whatever it may be, and that money is going to go in the coffers to support the operating expenses of the club for the year, and you stole. And they know you did it. Not you were just accused of, you got to prove it, you know, but you stole the money from the club. Right there, out bad. That's going to be an out bad because you stole, probably. I mean, I'm not telling you what you should do. I'm just saying, in my experience, most clubs are going to say, you're out bad, you're gone. And not only are they going to tell you that, they're going to tell everybody in the club that, and they're going to tell them why. Then they're probably, because they're probably close with the other clubs in the area, going to tell all of them too. Because what they don't want is that bad member that stole from the brothers to then go and try and join another club and then steal from them. So it's these groups talk, you know, there's a lot of friendships. Yeah, and I'm just talking from my own experience. I'm tight with several dudes from clubs around here that are very different than my own and walk a different side of the line and everything else, but still we are tight, you know. And we talk and we communicate. And if somebody's out bad and they do something bad, I know that I would tell them because I wouldn't want that person to then try and do that to them, you know. And then the other thing that happens a lot is you have insubordination. The guy's just starting shit all the time. Now, this is not normally immediately someone goes out bad for this. So this is a very long-term thing. But he's disrespectful to somebody's wife, girlfriend, daughter. More than once. He's insubordinate to the leadership. He's a problem. Right? He is a problem, and he's been warned and he's been written up because yes, there are write-ups and there's all kinds of stuff. A lot of organizations have. You can have disciplinary procedures that go all the way up to suspension of membership, and I mean you have all this stuff. And I'm not talking about my own organization. I'm talking about other organizations, clubs, and whatnot. And they have this stuff in writing. Like that's it. I'm pulling your cut until you can get your shit right. You know, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that just keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. After a certain amount of time, it's been proven that you cannot be saved, that you cannot be brought around, that you are not a good brother, you are not a good part of this organization, and you're gone. And then you'll be out bad. And the point of putting that person out bad is, again, to stop them from going someplace else and doing the same thing. Because these out bad lists are typically nationwide or even international, and they are shared, you know, with other people who might have a vested interest in knowing, you know, who's on there. And then I've also heard of dudes who serially can't keep it in their pants and they're fooling around with people's ladies and stuff like that. Eventually that'll get you out bad sometimes. But so anyway, so there's another phrase. So things like no fly, where you're not allowed to wear your colors when you're riding a survey for a while, this, that, and the other. An out bad is when someone is a sack of shit and gotta go, and then they can't be allowed to go someplace else. So that's what that is. Comment down below if you've never heard of this before. Comment down below if you have. Tell a story. No names, please, for the love of Christ. Let me ask you this. Hadn't happened yet. Please do not ever put the name of your club or whatever it may be in the comment section here. We do not talk shit. like we're not going to do that. But if you want to tell a story about how you know of a guy who locally got thrown out of a club, that's fine. But do not put any names of clubs, you know, in these comments. We're just not going to do that. That's not the world that we live in here on the Professional Monkey Channel. So. That's about it. Love you all to death. Hope you're all doing real well. Make sure you're a subscriber. If you're not, if you're on your TV or whatever, poke around there. There's a subscribe button because those numbers matter. So the more subscribers you have, the more that YouTube shows you to other people to watch, and then we all just grow, and it's just hippy dippy bullshit. Anyway, so that's it. Take care of each other out there. We'll talk real soon. Bye.